Y'all won't believe what just dropped. A secret recording of King Von's final phone call has surfaced, and it's sending shockwaves through the entire rap community. We're talking raw, emotional, and straight-up chilling. But what's even wilder? Oblock, the very people who rode for Von the hardest, are now calling out betrayal, yelling, "They lied to us." This ain't no rumor. It's getting messy fast. According to sources close to the family, this call was never meant to be heard, but someone leaked it. And what's inside? Alleged confessions, conflicting stories, and a truth that could change everything we thought we knew about the night King Von was killed. Von's closest friends are now questioning alliances. Mothers are crying. Fans are confused. And the streets are heating up once again. Did the people meant to protect him set him up? Was there a hidden agenda behind the chaos? And why is this recording coming out now, 2 years later? The timing is too perfect, or too sinister. Hold on tight, because this story is full of twists, tears, and tension. You're about to hear what no one was supposed to hear. Let's get into it. The streets of Chicago have always been full of whispers, rumors, and unsolved questions. But this is different. It's like someone pulled the pin on a grenade and just left it sitting in the middle of Oblock. Because when that recording of King Von's last phone call dropped, it didn't just shake the internet. It tore open old wounds, ignited new beefs, and flipped the narrative we've all been fed since day one. Let's rewind. November 6th, 2020. Atlanta. The night King Von was gunned down outside the Monaco hookah lounge. At the time, all we were told was that a fight broke out, shots were fired, and Von tragically lost his life. The police blamed the chaos on a street beef gone wrong. Some fans blamed Quando Rondo's crew. And others, well, they just accepted it as another chapter in the heartbreaking book of fallen rap stars. But now, this mysterious last phone call, leaked anonymously through a shady Telegram channel, has turned the spotlight inward. And people are looking at Oblock differently. Way differently. In the audio, you can hear Von's voice, clear, emotional, but strained. The call is said to be just 27 minutes before the shooting. He's not angry. He's not even hyped. He sounds paranoid, nervous, like he's expecting something bad to go down. What he says next. Chills. I feel like they setting me up, bro. This don't feel right. Somebody ain't telling the whole story. That's when fans lost it. Social media exploded. Hashtags like #JusticeForVon and #OblockSetup started trending. For the first time, people weren't pointing fingers at outsiders. They were questioning his own camp. Immediately, speculation started flying. Who was Von talking to on that call? Some say it was a cousin. Others claim it was someone inside his inner circle, maybe even someone who was with him in Atlanta that night. The voice on the other end is muffled in the leaked clip, but their tone? Calm. Too calm. Don't worry, Von. Everything been handled. You straight. But was he? This wasn't just a phone call. This was a crack in the image that Oblock had presented to the world. The idea that Von was always surrounded by loyalty, by day ones who had his back no matter what. It started to crumble. And the internet wasn't the only one noticing. Back in Chicago, things turned tense. Oblock residents started whispering. A few Instagram lives started circulating where guys who usually kept quiet began speaking out, not directly accusing anyone, but definitely throwing shade. One clip, now deleted, showed a former affiliate shaking his head, saying, "Von told y'all, man. He knew something was up. But folks ain't listen. He ain't die by accident. He got lined up." And that's when the betrayal rumors really started picking up steam. Now let's talk about Muwop, one of Von's closest homies. Ever since the leak, he's been silent. Too silent. Fans noticed that he scrubbed a few old posts off his page, ones that showed him and Von laughing, celebrating Wilden out. People started connecting dots, wondering, why now? At the same time, Von's sister, Kayla B., jumped online with a cryptic post. "Y'all not gonna play with my brother's name. We know who really rode and who folded." No names. No tags. But the damage was done. Fans began dissecting every word, every post, every movement from Vaughn's circle. Theories blew up. Some fans claimed the call was proof Vaughn was double-crossed. Others said it was all hype, just another conspiracy to distract from the real enemies. But for the people closest to Vaughn, this wasn't a game. We spoke exclusively to someone who identified themselves as a childhood friend of Vaughn's. Let's call him Tone. He requested to remain anonymous, but what he shared gave us chills. Vaughn always had instincts. He ain't trust easy. That night, he was acting different. He was trying to leave Atlanta early, but something pulled him back. Somebody told him to stay. That phone call? That was him feeling something in his gut. When we asked Tone who he thought Vaughn was talking to in the call, he paused. I can't say for sure, but I know who was around him. I know who was making calls that night. And I know this, Vaughn ain't never been scared of no ops. But he was scared of snakes. And snakes? They can be real close. Right next to you. Another twist came when an anonymous Reddit user, who claimed to have ties to the music industry, posted what they called a transcript of the full call. While we couldn't verify its authenticity, it lines up with a leaked clip, and it includes something explosive. Allegedly, Vaughn asked someone on the call if a certain crew member was being paid off. You sure he ain't talking to them other dudes? I seen him actin' funny. Looking around too much. Like he knows something I don't. Boom. That's when fans started digging into Vaughn's team finances. Who got paid after his death? Who signed what deals? And why were certain associates suddenly driving better cars, wearing flashier chains, and going on vacations they never could have afforded before? Even Vaughn's mom, who rarely speaks on drama, posted something that had fans reeling. My son ain't have no peace. And now I know why. Again, no names. But in this game, you don't need names to start a war. All you need is doubt. And that doubt is now poisoning everything. Memos from the Cook County jail system surfaced showing sudden transfers of certain inmates connected to Vaughn's team. Rumors flew that someone was trying to get protective custody, and the internet immediately went full detective mode. Subreddit threads lit up with breakdowns, timelines, and matching mugshots. Everyone wanted to know, who's scared now? But just when things couldn't get crazier, they did. A second recording surfaced. This one was shorter, only about 3 minutes, but it was even darker than the first. You don't hear Vaughn. Instead, you hear two men, allegedly from Vaughn's team, talking after the shooting. One voice says, "It's done. He ain't coming back. You know what that means, right?" The other responds, "Yeah, time to cash in." Cash in? On what? That one sentence blew the whole thing wide open. Fans took it as confirmation of a setup for profit theory, that someone inside Vaughn's circle may have known what was coming and used his death to secure the bag. Whether it's from royalties, posthumous releases, or just clout, people started wondering if Vaughn's death made some folks richer than they should be. You could literally feel the shift online. What started as mourning turned into anger. Vaughn's most loyal fans began demanding answers. Demanding justice. Demanding names. And back in Oblock, the vibe was getting real tense. Even people with nothing to do with the situation were catching strays. Longtime friends were unfollowing each other. People who used to post Vaughn's name every day suddenly went silent. You could tell everybody was watching their back. One young rapper from the block, who we'll call Lil Dre, took to IG Live and said this: "Look, I don't know what y'all talking about, but I ain't trusting nobody right now. Not even my own brothers. 'Cause Vaughn was one of us. If he got touched like that, what that mean for the rest of us?" That fear? It was real. But it wasn't just the streets watching. Industry insiders began whispering too. A known producer, who worked on one of Vaughn's unreleased tracks, tweeted, "This why I stopped messin' with certain circles. Too much snake energy. RIP to the real." The tweet was deleted within minutes, but not before fans screenshotted and reposted it across TikTok and YouTube. Even more shocking, A rumor started spreading that the label, yes, Vaughn's own record label, knew about the call. That they had access to the full audio and chose not to say anything. Why? Because silence is money. And dead artists, as dark as it sounds, often sell more records than the living ones. Which raises the biggest question of all. Was this all just a tragedy? Or was it business? So now the world was on edge. With King Von's last phone call shaking the core of his fanbase and Oblock's silence growing louder, everybody was watching, waiting, wondering who would speak next. And when the second audio leaked, exposing those cryptic words, "Time to cash in," the heat turned up like never before. Suddenly, all eyes turned towards someone nobody expected, Track, Vaughn's longtime manager. For months, Track had remained relatively quiet. He'd done interviews here and there, mostly defending Vaughn's legacy, focusing on music, and keeping things professional. But now, the streets weren't interested in professionalism. They wanted truth. And receipts. It started with an old clip, an interview from late 2021, resurfacing. In it, Track was asked if Vaughn had sensed danger before his death. His answer back then? A cool, "Nah, Vaughn wasn't worried about nothing. We had security, we had a plan. He was good." But now, paired with the phone call leak, that line aged badly. Fans immediately pointed out the contradiction. If Vaughn said he felt set up, why did Track say he felt safe? Was he covering something up? To make matters worse, someone on Twitter claimed to have screenshots of DMs between Track and another manager, talking about keeping things quiet until the next drop. The drop being Vaughn's posthumous album, of course. That's when the accusations got nasty. YouTube reaction channels exploded with content. Titles like Track Knew All Along, Oblock Betrayal Confirmed, and King Von's death was a business deal, flooded the algorithm. One TikToker even went viral after posting an alleged timeline showing when certain people in Vaughn's circle started making major financial moves, all within weeks of his death. We're talking Rolexes, Benz trucks, jewelry store visits, private jets, vacations to Tulum. None of it sat right with fans, especially those who remembered how Vaughn used to move, tight-lipped, loyal, and always 10 steps ahead. He wasn't flashy just to be flashy. He took care of his people, but that's the thing. If he was the one holding everything together, what happened when he was gone? Back in Oblock, the pressure was rising. Longtime friends who grew up with Vaughn were no longer just posting tribute pics. They were speaking up. One, who goes by Big Rico, posted a series of stories on Instagram that sent shockwaves. Some of y'all wasn't even outside with Vaughn. Y'all wasn't in no trenches. But soon as he passed, y'all jumped on his name like it was a hustle. Talking about loyalty, but y'all ain't pick up the phone when it mattered. The post didn't mention names, but the shade was loud. Loud enough that Muwop, for the first time since the leak, finally clapped back with a post of his own. Ain't nobody line Vaughn up. Y'all internet detectives sound goofy. Keep Vaughn name out y'all mouths if you wasn't there. But that wasn't enough for fans. In fact, it backfired. Because instead of calming things down, it made people start looking even deeper. They pulled up footage from that night in Atlanta, security cam angles, phone videos, anything they could get their hands on. One video showed Vaughn walking straight into the confrontation that led to his death. But the people behind him hesitated, and fans noticed. Why was he the only one going forward? Where was the backup? Why did some of them hang back like they knew what was coming? The theories exploded. The trust shattered. Then came another twist no one saw coming. An alleged burner account started posting on Reddit, claiming to be someone from inside Oblock. They dropped vague messages like, "The call y'all heard? That ain't even the worst one." Vaughn was warned. He just didn't want to believe it. Money made monsters out of brothers. At first, people thought it was fake. Just a troll chasing clout. But then the account posted an audio snippet no one had ever heard before. A conversation between two men talking about Vaughn just days before the shooting. It was short, distorted, and hard to verify, but the energy? Creepy. He moving too fast. Getting too big. You either move with him or move him out the way. Now let's be clear, this is still unconfirmed. But that didn't stop the streets from reacting. More than ever, fans started asking hard questions. Was this about fame? About jealousy? About money? Did Vaughn's rising power in the music industry threaten people in his own circle? People who felt like they were being left behind? Even DJ academics, usually just reporting on the drama, went on Twitch and said, "Man, I don't know. That last phone call feels too real. If Vaughn said he felt something off, we gotta stop ignoring that. He wasn't stupid. That man had instincts." Meanwhile, Kayla came back online, this time with heat. She posted a picture of Vaughn as a kid, captioned, "My brother was real from the start. Y'all was fake from the jump. All of you." Then she unfollowed almost every major name from Oblock. That's when it became clear, this wasn't just internet drama anymore. This was family turning on family. Whatever was in that recording, it had clearly confirmed something she'd been feeling for a long time. And she wasn't the only one. Vaughn's cousin Balo, who had mostly stayed out of the spotlight, did an Instagram live where he said, "I don't care if they come for me. I ain't gonna sit back and let y'all rewrite what happened. Vaughn ain't die for no street war. He died 'cause people around him got greedy." Facts. The chat was flooded. Fans begged him to speak more, to drop names. But just as he started getting deeper into it, the live cut off. People said it was connection issues. Others said he got a call and was told to shut it down. Whatever the truth was, one thing was certain: people were scared. That fear even spread into the industry. An anonymous producer who worked on Vaughn's unreleased tracks reportedly pulled out of a planned posthumous release. When asked why, they simply said, "Too many questions. Too much heat. I'm not trying to get involved in any of that." At this point, even OTF, the label Vaughn was tied to, started distancing itself from the drama. No official statements. No reposts. No interviews. Just silence. And that silence? It spoke volumes. Meanwhile, online detectives kept digging. A popular YouTube analyst released a frame-by-frame breakdown of the moments leading up to Vaughn's death, paired with timestamps from the leaked call. His theory? That the call came from someone who was already at the scene, giving real-time updates before Vaughn even arrived. He played the clips side by side, pointing out how the energy shifted, how the shooter seemed to appear too fast, how the people who were supposed to be with Vaughn hesitated, just long enough to change the outcome. It was like a trap, and Vaughn walked right into it. And the scariest part? Vaughn might have known. He said he felt something was off. And still, he pulled up. Still, he walked in. Because that's who he was, fearless, loyal, trusting the people around him to ride, just like he always did for them. But now, fans can't help but ask, did they ride? Or did they watch? The betrayal angle started spreading fast. Podcasts, TikToks, live streams, everyone had an opinion. But behind the chaos, one quiet voice stood out. Vaughn's grandma. In a rare video, she sat on her porch in Chicago, holding a photo of Vaughn. Her words were simple, but they hit hard. He was just a boy with a dream. Wanted to change things for us. And look what they did to him. And they, well, that word hung heavy in the air. The cracks in the legacy are deep. What started as a tragic death is now surrounded by questions, suspicion, and fear. Vaughn's name, once untouchable, is now caught in a war between truth and lies, and the streets are demanding answers. But it's not over yet. An explosive witness comes forward, someone who claims to have heard everything. A name is dropped, and it changes everything. Stay locked in, because the story's about to blow wide open. Just when it felt like things couldn't get any more chaotic, boom. A voice note leaks from an unknown source. The title? They know what they did. Final witness speaks. No one knew where it came from. Some thought it was AI generated. Others swore it was real. But the voice in the audio? People claimed they recognized it immediately. A young woman, soft-spoken, clearly shaken, says, "I heard it all. The plan. The setup. I begged them not to go through with it." Fans quickly traced the voice to a woman King Von was reportedly close to in Atlanta, someone who'd never spoken publicly before. We'll call her A. She had disappeared from social media shortly after Von's death. No posts. No stories. Just vanished. And now? She was back, with the kind of bombshell that could tear everything apart. In the voice note, it talks about a conversation she overheard 2 days before Von was killed. According to her, a group of men, including people Von trusted, were discussing money, labels, and what happens if Von doesn't play along. They said he was doing too much, making too many moves without them. There was jealousy. I heard one of them say, "He don't need us no more." That's when I knew something was wrong. She never says a name. Not directly. But the descriptions match up with people fans already had suspicions about. Someone tall, always quiet in interviews. Someone who suddenly moved to a different state just weeks after Von's death. Someone who hadn't posted anything about the leaked call. And when fans connected those dots, the timeline started to make sense. The change in energy. The silence. The cold stares from people who were once calling Von family. But what I said next. It froze fans to the core. Von got that call. And he told me, if something happened to me, don't let them act like they was with me. He knew. He knew. That one sentence had fans in full meltdown. Because it confirmed the worst fear of all. King Von saw it coming. And the people closest to him? Still let it happen. Back in Oblock, things took a dark turn. A memorial mural of Von that had stood untouched since 2021 was suddenly vandalized. Spray paint covering his face with the word "lied." Residents were furious. Some blamed outsiders. But others whispered something colder. Nah, that was someone from inside. Sending a message. And just like that, the already fragile unity inside Oblock collapsed. Arguments broke out. Former brothers aired dirty laundry. One shocking live showed 2 rappers from the same clique arguing over who really held Von down, with one screaming, "You was never there for him. All that loyalty talk is fake. You ain't even answer when he called." Thousands tuned in. Comments flooded with crying emojis, snake emojis, and the chilling phrase that had now become viral. "They lied to us." The hashtag hit 1 million mentions. Fans across the world started reposting old videos of Von, interviews where he smiled, joked, or talked about loyalty. Now, those clips felt like clues. Moments frozen in time where you could almost see the betrayal forming in the background. And just when the world thought it couldn't get more emotional, King Von's mother broke her silence. On a quiet Tuesday morning, she posted a single photo on Instagram, Von as a baby, wrapped in a blue blanket. The caption? "You warned me. You told me not to trust them. I didn't listen." The internet exploded. In less than an hour, over 2 million likes. Celebrities like Meek Mill, 21 Savage, and G Herbo commented. Even Boozy reposted it with the caption, "They got him. That boy was too real for this fake industry." And then, in a move nobody expected, Lil Durk unfollowed nearly everyone tied to Oblock. People were shocked. Durk had always kept Von's name alive. Always shouted him out. Always wore that OTF chain proud. So when fans noticed the mass unfollowing, they knew something behind the scenes had finally snapped. Could it be that even Durk now suspected foul play? Meanwhile, the girl A who leaked the voice note vanished again. Her account deleted. Gone without a trace. Some say she was threatened. Others say she was handled. But nobody really knows. What we do know is that Von's story is no longer just about a fight outside a club. It's about loyalty, betrayal, power, and a man who saw it all coming, but trusted the wrong people anyway. That final phone call, the one leaked at the start of this whole storm, has become a symbol. A symbol of every artist who gets caught up in the game, thinking those around them are solid, only to find out, too late, that the love was fake. It's also a warning. Because the same people posting your name, throwing up your set, and saying RIP every day might be the same ones who watched you fall. Or worse, pushed you. Vaughn's death was already tragic. But now, it feels deeper, dirtier, more calculated. The idea that it may have been about business, that it may have been about someone feeling left out, underpaid, overlooked, that changes everything. As Part 3 draws to a close, one truth stands above the rest. King Vaughn's story isn't over. Because even in death, his voice, that call, is exposing truths that people tried to bury. And maybe, just maybe, this time the streets won't let it get swept under the rug. So here we are. From a leaked phone call to rumors of betrayal, secret voice notes, shady label moves, and silent friends who suddenly look a little too guilty. King Vaughn's legacy is facing its toughest test yet. And the ones who claimed to love him? They're now the ones fans are watching the closest. It's not just about what happened outside that club in Atlanta anymore. It's about what was said before, what was heard after, and what's been hidden in between. The voice note, the Instagram posts, the missing friends, the silence from Oblock. Every piece of this puzzle is pushing fans closer to one cold, chilling conclusion. They lied to us. But what do you believe? Was King Vaughn truly set up by the very people he trusted? Or are these just emotional reactions, twisted by grief and social media detectives? Did the music industry stay quiet because of money or fear? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. No filter. We're watching every theory, every clue, every voice. This story is still unfolding, and your opinion could help uncover the truth. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you never miss a drop. We've got more exclusive stories, breakdowns, and updates coming your way as this King Vaughn saga continues to unravel. And if you're still with us at this point, just know, Vaughn's watching too. Stay safe, stay woke, and as always, keep it real. Until next time, this is the truth they didn't want you to hear.